Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to the Smoke Break, episode 8, I think. Not really sure. Again, this is the show where we talk about various things and there'll be timestamps in the description below for all the various segments. So we'll talk about today. I want to talk about Falcon Winter Soldier episode 4. I want to talk about the new Tom Holland Daisy Ridley movie, Chaos Walking, which is actually about 3 or 4 years old. I finally got to see that as well. We're going to talk about a little bit about a documentary on Netflix, but I won't go too deep today about that because we're actually going to do a full podcast on the SmokeScreen podcast about this really cool art heist, the biggest one in American history, a new documentary on Netflix. And we're going to give a quick book update on The Crimson Gods. It is going through the publishing process as far as editing, and it's damn expensive. And speaking of money, let me thank today's sponsor, Ekster Wallets. I really dig this wallet they sent me. Ekster is probably the coolest wallet I've ever had. It comes in this badass little box here, really nice packaging. Also has a tracking card. I'll get into that in just a second here. It comes in this nice packaging as well. Really nice wallet here. Probably the baddest wallet I've ever had. It's really small and compact, this particular model. They have various models on the website. For mine here, I have the Parliament wallet, which they sent me, all black. You can open it up. You see I have my license. I have a little cash strap in here. But the coolest part of this wallet, as far as the wallet itself, is that you can access all your cards just with a click of a button. You have all these cards in here. RFID protected, by the way. You just click that, easy access to any card you need, pull it out, whatever, just put them back in. Really small and compact to go in your front pocket. And what's really cool about this, if you get the tracking card here, this is a little card no bigger than a credit card itself, a little bit thicker. And you can actually track your wallet or your phone from either one. So for example, if I lose my phone, I can double tap this and play this little thing on my phone. I know you can't see that there. Or if I have this in my wallet, which I do, I have this usually slid here in the back pocket, like so. That's now hidden in there. Now I can go to my Chipolo app, which takes about literally 2 minutes to set up, and click Ring to Find, and it will now find my wallet. So put it up here if you can hear that. Really cool. And on top of that, there's some really other cool things with this app. You can go to take a selfie, for example. And let's say you are in a location and you want to, let me just go here and click take a selfie. You open your camera from the app here. I don't know if you can see that. You can see the camera right there. And you can go to this tracker card, and now you can double click the card, and it takes a selfie. So you can set this up, for example, over across the room or whatever, or if you don't have somebody to hold your camera, and then you can take a selfie with your damn wallet. Head over to ekster.com/smokescreen. Also right now you can use the code SmokeScreen5 on their website when you check out for an extra 5% off. Plus they have a Mother's Day sale going on right now. So grab yourself an Ekster over at ekster.com/smokescreen. Use the code SmokeScreen5 for 5% off. Really cool, and I appreciate them sponsoring today's video. Anyway, let's jump into it. Let's give a real quick book update. So The Crimson Gods is officially being edited. We are out now for developmental editing that is being done right now. I think it's been going on probably at least a week or so. This should take approximately a month or so. So I'm in a holding pattern there, waiting on the developmental edit to come back. In the meantime, I have scheduled line edits as well as of today. So I've got the sample back from an editor there for the line edits. And I've also talked to a cartographer, and I'm getting a map done for the book that we printed inside the book. I'll have one also available separately in color or whatever that can be reproduced and printed, framed, all that good stuff as well, but one that we printed for the book, and then they look really fucking cool. So I'm excited about The Crimson Gods. It's going to be, we're looking at about probably late July, maybe August, possibly September for an actual release date now. And then again, this is just due to the editors and stuff being booked out so far, and you're trying to time all this stuff correctly. So it's a learning curve. It's a big learning process, and it costs a little bit of money, but I'm trying to do it the right way for my debut novel. I don't want it to come out and be trash. Probably a little expectations are a little bit higher because I talk about it on here, things like that. So anyway, really looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to getting back the feedback from the editors and all that good stuff as well. And so far, really good feedback from beta readers, or really alpha readers. Made a lot of changes that I thought were necessary. So really looking forward to the debut novel, The Crimson Gods. By the way, there will be a link in the description. If you still want to pre-order that, we had an Indiegogo campaign that's already ended, but I opened another one so we can afford the rest of the editing as well as an audiobook. We had to hire a voice actor a professional voice actor. That costs a pretty penny as well. So there will be a link to the new Indiegogo campaign as well in the description below if you would like to pre-order The Crimson Gods. You can also join our Patreon community. You automatically get the book within those tiers on Patreon. All those links will be in the description below. So anyway, let's jump over to this week's movie segment. We're talking about Chaos Walking. This came out in theaters as well as Amazon for early access or whatever. Chaos Walking, Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time, actually. This was about 3 or 4 years old. They pushed this back for many, I don't know all the reasons, but for many years they pushed this back. So this has been filmed for a long time. I think they were in the middle of probably one of the first Spider-Mans at the same time as she was doing Star Wars. This is so old as far as when they filmed it. So this is filmed in 2017, maybe 2016, if I'm not mistaken. It's based off the book trilogy. The first in the book trilogy is called The Knife of Never Letting Go, and I believe it's by Patrick Ness. And I'd heard of this before, and it's a really cool concept. But the movie, I don't know, not so much. It's a little distracting. It's okay, but it is distracting. What I mean by that is there's something called the noise. And this noise is something where on this new world, basically, it's called the New World, and it's where people have, it's way far in the future. I think it's like 23 something or something, maybe 22 something, whatever. The point being, a couple hundred years in the future, people have left Earth. They're on this other planet called the New World, and it's like Earth, obviously. But the point being is that all the men there, all their thoughts are exposed literally to the world called the noise. And that's exactly what it is. You can literally hear their thoughts. You can even see some of their thoughts visually, and it all comes out of the top of their head, almost like a smoke. Or if you ever looked across a road that's really hot and you see the gas coming up off the road, it comes out of their head like that, and you can literally wave your hand through it. So it's a physical thing. And it's kind of an allegory for today's world where we have no privacy, social media, all that stuff. You really have no privacy in that sense if you choose to use these type of things. So that's what it's for. So it's a really great concept, and I'm sure the books are good. I have not read them, but the movie was just okay. It really didn't go anywhere. It's fairly predictable. Not a lot happened, and the main thing is just kind of hard to watch because of the noise. It's called Chaos Walking, and you learn to control the chaos. That's one of the little themes in there about controlling your noise. But actually watching the movie is distracting because of the fucking noise. Nothing really comes of it. There's no real story there, I would say. It's just kind of you find out what's going on, and that's really just what happens. You just kind of see it unfold as you fully expect. No twists, no turns. So I don't know if the movie was executed properly for what I thought was a pretty damn good concept. But anyway, really distracting, hard to watch, but it is okay. So if you're interested in that, you can see it now in the theaters, obviously, and you can grab it for $20 on Amazon as an early access, same day as theaters type of thing, or whatever. But again, really okay as far as the movie goes, but again, distracting and predictable. And I find it ironic that it's distracting because of the actual chaos of the noise, because you're literally hearing thoughts like over and over and over. So you never have any peace watching this movie. There's never a time where they just talk, except more towards the end as he learns to control his noise a little bit better. But in the first hour and a half, whatever it may be, it's just constant noise and talking, and you hear all these men's thoughts. It only affects the men. So Daisy Ridley crash lands on this planet, and she can hear all their thoughts, but you can't hear hers. I don't even know if I mentioned that. And I believe in the books, it's caused by a germ. And the idea here is there's this little settlement and of all men, and all the women were killed, and it was blamed on this other race this native species who lives on this planet, but it really ended up being the mayor of this settlement because they couldn't handle all the noise and not having any privacy from the women. It's a little convoluted, but the point being that's pretty much it. And then it is distracting watching the damn thing because you're actually listening to all their thoughts, no matter if they're speaking or not. Anyway, Chaos Walking, just my opinion of it. Some people may enjoy it, but again, I find it distracting. So go check it out if you would like to in the theaters or on Amazon, and I believe it probably is available on other streaming services as well. All right, so let's jump over and talk about the Marvel segment. This week's Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 4. Already 4 episodes in the books, only 2 episodes to go, and this show is done. It is over. 1 season, 6 episodes, and that's it. Essentially, it's a Marvel movie split up between the Marvel movies. So far, again, it's still a good show. I'm enjoying it, but it's getting a little tiresome in the sense of, to me, it's becoming more of just another kind of cop-style show where you have your cops and they're going investigating things and shit happens. Only this time it's Falcon and Winter Soldier and a couple other Marvel characters. And I don't feel like it really has any connection to the Avengers like I think it should. You hear the word Avengers, they're called Avengers, but you never really see any other Avengers or have this connection to the team. It seems like they have this mission. They're trying to figure out what's going on with these flag smashers, a terrorist organization. Seems like a pretty big deal, but you have no other Avengers involved. Now, I'm not saying they should have, War Machine flying in and the Hulk and all this kind of stuff or whatever. It just seems like they're out on their own, and they're dealing with this Captain America guy, John Walker, the new Captain America, which he won't be for long after this episode. Spoiler alert, we're going to have a bad John Walker now, as most of us predicted in some way. But yeah, it's just okay. It's just okay. I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy... I've never watched cop shows because they get tiresome. It's kind of the same old thing, investigating things and whatever, and you're going after the bad guy. You get a lead, you go after the lead dries up, and then they have to start back over. It's essentially that kind of show, so it's pretty straightforward. Not as exciting as like WandaVision was, for example. So this is a pretty straightforward Marvel show, and again, it's okay. I'm enjoying it. But this episode, we did get John Walker. He got the last serum and apparently popped it at some point because he came out pissed off and he had taken the serum. So obviously John Walker now is kind of going bad because we see at the end of this episode, he kills a flag smasher in the middle of this street and while probably 30 or 40 people are watching and filming with their damn iPhones. So John Walker has now taken the serum. Now everybody watches this happen. He kills this dude, one of the flag smashers, in a pretty brutal way with the shield. I mean, I think he probably decapitated him, although they didn't show that. You saw the blood dripping off the edge of the shield. It was a pretty intense scene, actually. So in that sense, like I said, the action and adventure of the show is good. It's just that cop show vibe is what I'm saying as far as what's getting tiresome. But the point being that you got now a clear cut, okay, he cannot be Captain America anymore. This does not look good for not only America, but for him personally, obviously. And the reason he did it, I don't blame him. I don't blame him because the Flag Smashers killed his best buddy, Lochmoor, otherwise known as Battlestar in the comics as well. He is a comic character. He's kind of his sidekick, just like Falcon was to Steve Rogers. So Lochmoor gets killed, and they were all fighting and shit. And what surprised me, though, is they're all fighting, trying to kill each other, and then one of them gets killed, and everybody's like surprised by it. And then the Flag Smashers run, even though they're Winter Soldiers as well. And then he chases one down, and he is now taking the serum because you can obviously can see by his strength now, and kills him in front of everybody. So I can't say I blame him, but it's not going to look good. So we're not necessarily going to have a bad John Walker in the sense, but we have a little bit of a PR problem, John Walker now. So now it's going to be the time in the next 2 episodes, I certainly predict, like I have said from the beginning, that Sam will take over the shield and change his mind and take up the mantle officially of Captain America. I do enjoy seeing Wakandans coming there. We see Ayo come back as well. She's part of the King's Guard to T'Challa. And she is now come back with some other Kingsguard members as well to get Zemo. Although he disappeared, so a little fight scene between the Kingsguard of Wakanda and Bucky, as well as John Walker was in that scene as well. And he gets his ass handed to him by Ayo, and he actually says, and they wasn't even super soldiers, just because they're badass fighters. And of course, that's what makes him think, if I had the serum, I should probably take it. He even asked his buddy Lochmoor, he was like, if you had the serum, would you take it? He was like, hell yeah. So anyway, they did find the serum from the Flag Smashers. Zemo smashed up all the bottles on the ground after he called up to him and shot the leader of the Flag Smashers. Although she survived, obviously she has healing properties, but there was one remaining, and John Walker came in and found it, stuck it in his pocket. And of course, like I said, at the end, it's revealed that he had taken it at some point and now has super strength. So good luck peeling the shield out of his hands, but we have some people that can probably deal with that. And I don't think he's a bad guy. Like I said, I think he'll probably end up giving up the shield. It's going to be a huge PR nightmare of what he did. You would never have seen Steve Rogers, no matter how pissed off he was, kill a dude in front of everybody. He would have taken him into custody and done the right thing. And that's essentially what this whole show's about. The undercurrent of it is doing the right thing no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter how passionate you are about something, do the right thing. So anything Marvel is always pretty damn good. But all I'm saying, it's just got that kind of old school cop show thing. And you would think they had all these issues or whatever. They would call in, the Avengers. There should be a team there, or at least somebody they can talk to or contact or whatever it may be. So I feel like it's almost a separate thing, like they're retired and they went underground and they're working on their own, as opposed to still being a part of the Avengers. Although the Avengers are now back after the blip we saw in Endgame. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about Netflix for a moment. There was a new documentary that just came up. I think it's in the top 10 on Netflix from what I saw. And I watched the whole damn thing. And I'm not going to go do deep here, just going to talk about it just for a minute, because me and James are going to do an entire podcast. So that will be coming out maybe next week, I believe. We'll see if we can get this recorded. But this is a pretty damn good documentary. I love any kind of heist kind of story, so definitely true crime. But this time, it's about what essentially is the biggest art heist in history as far as the underground world of stolen art. And it's pretty damn interesting. This is about a robbery that happened back in 1990, I believe, from the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston. And I remember this vaguely. Like, I remembered it as a kid. You heard it on the news and all this kind of stuff, but I didn't remember any details about it or the name of it or whatever. But this did remind me of that. And essentially, you had two guys come into this museum at night dressed as cops. They got buzzed in by the guards. They came in, they thought they were Boston police officers, and they took them down to the basement and tied them up and stayed in this museum for 81 minutes and took 13 works of art. You're talking about Rembrandts, Vermeers, Monets, etc. Most notably, The Storm of the Sea of Galilee by Rembrandt was taken, his only seascape. In today's money, this stuff will be worth about $500 million. Well, yeah, over $500 million. So it's a pretty damn big deal. And then you go through 4 episodes. This is a docuseries. There's 4 episodes, about an hour apiece. So about 4 hours or so. And it's really interesting and intriguing. And it starts going down all these rabbit holes of how you just steal this art. How did it happen? Where did it go? And you can't just sell this stuff right on the open market because it's one of a kind. It's essentially priceless. So the idea is, what do these guys do it for? And it kind of gets into that stuff as well. So I won't go too deep here. We'll be talking about it on a podcast. James watched the first episode as well. He was sold. He's like, yeah, let's definitely do a podcast on this. So go check this out, and we're going to discuss it on the podcast probably next week or whatever. So again, this called This Is a Robbery, and it's on Netflix. I believe it was in the top 10 on new shows on Netflix. So pretty interesting stuff if you love true crime and especially good heist stories. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, thank you to today's sponsor, Ekster Wallets. I really appreciate those guys sending me out this Parliament-style wallet. Go check them out. Go to ekster.com/smokescreen. Again, those links will be in the description below, as well as the pinned comment. And grab yourself a wallet or a gift for someone as well. Really, really cool wallet, and they have other styles as well as key trackers, and really, really cool idea with this tracker card in the back here that you can use with an app and track your wallet or track your phone with your wallet. Either way you want to go, and do some other cool things as well. Anyway, guys, I appreciate the continued support. Thank you to you guys on Patreon, and a special shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share. And of course, be sure to subscribe to get everything and click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.